Today, we're jumping headfirst into a mystery set in the heart of Prague, one that weaves together history, music, and some seriously cryptic codes. This is the Dvořák Ciphers.
So let me ask you this. What kind of secrets do you think could be hiding inside a symphony that's over 100 years old? We tend to think of classical music as being set in stone, right? But what if? What if a composer left behind a puzzle, just sitting there, hidden in plain sight for a century?
Well, our story kicks off with what was supposed to be a totally routine security mission. The team has just landed for the Prague assignment. And really, on the surface, this job seems like a walk in the park. So, you've got this team from the Spynet Detective Agency, and they've just touched down at Václav Havel Airport. Their mission? It seems simple enough. Just provide a little extra security for the Dvořák Symphonic Tone Poem Festival. The main thing is to protect the composer's original manuscripts, which are, priceless. Okay, so let's meet the crew. You've got Gracie, the leader. She's cautious, professional, the one who always feels it when things are just a little too quiet. Balancing her out is Spotty, her partner, who's way more laid back and confident. Then there's Dookie, who is just a fountain of knowledge on music and history, totally passionate about it. And finally, you have Izzy, the quiet one, who sees everything everyone else misses. 4 experts, one supposedly simple mission. And Spotty really just sums up the whole vibe perfectly. He says 7 days in Prague, music and history, this might actually be relaxing. Famous last words, am I right? It just goes to show how little they knew about what they were about to walk into. Yeah, that whole relaxing mission, it doesn't last long. The moment the team steps into the National Theater, a single mysterious note changes absolutely everything. So their first order of business is to meet their contact, the festival's conductor, Dr. Zoon-Hin Woo. The plan is straightforward. Check out the venue, get the security codes for the safe with the manuscripts, and then just start the watch. Easy. While they're waiting for the conductor, Dookie, our history buff, drops this really cool piece of trivia. You know how a lot of people think Dvořák just straight up copied Native American and Black spirituals for his New World Symphony? Well, the truth is, he was inspired by their spirit, by their essence. He never actually lifted the melodies. It was all a big misunderstanding that started with a music critic and somehow stuck around for over 100 years. And then Dr. Wu arrives and shows them the main event, the whole reason they're here, Dvořák's 5 original manuscripts. And look, these aren't just pieces of paper with notes on them, they're actual historical artifacts, a direct link to the man himself. Absolutely priceless. So you might be wondering, what exactly is a tone poem? Well, Dookie explains it perfectly. It's basically a story told with music instead of words. 4 of these are based on old Czech folklore, and the 5th was a story Dvořák just made up himself. The key thing to remember is the music is the story. And this is the moment. This is where everything changes. As Dookie is carefully looking through the score for the water goblin, she finds a handwritten note tucked inside. It says, "When the goblin listens, not plays, count the steps where music meets the river. Part 1 of 5 waits where gold watches the water." All of a sudden, this is not a security job anymore. It's a full-blown treasure hunt. And the plot just thickens immediately, because it turns out it's not just one riddle. Nope. It's a whole series of what they start calling the Dvořák Ciphers, and it's about to kick off a massive puzzle that spans the entire city. So they check the other scores, and sure enough, there's a cryptic note tucked away in every single one. You've got the Noon Witch talking about bells and fear, the Golden Spinning Wheel mentioning a path that returns unchanged, all the way to a hero's song, which points to a place where a hero is formed, not celebrated. Each one is a little abstract piece of a much bigger puzzle. So yeah, you can pretty much toss the original mission plan right out the window. This isn't about standing guard anymore. Now it is a race against time to solve a historical puzzle left behind by one of the greatest composers who ever lived. Okay, so you've got a riddle that's over a century old. Where do you even begin? Well, you start with the first key. The team dives right into that first clue from the water goblin, and it leads them straight to the banks of the Vltava River. Let's just walk through their logic here, because it's pretty brilliant. Music meets the river. Okay, that's a pretty clear signpost for the Vltava. Now, when the goblin listens, not plays, that's the real insight. It's not about a performance, it's about composition, or maybe directing. Dookie connects this to the Rudolphinium, where Dvořák was the director. And the final piece? Gold watches the water. That perfectly describes the gilded roof of the concert hall, which looks right out over the river. So, with a solid theory in hand, they set off. You can just picture them, right? Walking along the embankment, the grand buildings of Prague on one side, the river on the other. You can just feel that anticipation building as they get closer and closer to the Rudolfinum.
And then, the breakthrough. And it's not even in the concert hall itself. It's outside, hidden in plain sight. Down at the bottom of the steps leading up from the river, Dookie spots something off. It's a small section of the stone steps, but it's cleverly disguised to look exactly like a row of piano keys. I mean, how incredible is that?
Their hunch was dead on. They've done it. The team has officially found the very first piece of Dvořák's puzzle. It's a huge win, and it confirms they're absolutely on the right track. But here's the kicker. As the team is celebrating this huge discovery, they completely miss something. That figure from before, the white rabbit that Izzy saw, is watching them from the shadows. They are not alone, and their victory is not nearly as secret as they think it is. And that leaves us with one final, chilling question. Sure, they've unlocked the first secret, but who else is out there hunting for Dvořák's legacy? The race is on, and our heroes don't even know they have competition yet.